Ares is the Greek god of war and one of the 12 Olympian gods who reside on Mount Olympus. He is the son of Zeus, the king of the gods, and Hera, the queen of the gods and the goddess of marriage and childbirth. As the child of two major deities, Ares inherited his divine status and powers. Ares represented the violent and brutal aspects of war, and his aggressive and impulsive nature often led to strife and conflict. While there are no specific myths that detail strife among the gods solely because of Ares, his actions and involvement in various myths often led to disagreements or tension among the gods. Ares and Aphrodite. Ares, the Greek god of war, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, shared a passionate and tumultuous love affair in Greek mythology. Aphrodite was married to Hephaestus, the god of fire and craftsmanship, but she was often unfaithful to him. Ares and Aphrodite's passionate relationship was well known among the other gods, and their affair resulted in several children, including Eros, god of love, Anteros, god of requited love, and Harmonia, goddess of harmony and concord. Ares and Aphrodite also gave birth to the twin gods Phobos, fear, and Deimos, terror. These deities often accompanied Ares into battle, spreading fear and terror among the enemies. Phobos and Deimos are typically depicted as terrifying, monstrous figures, emphasizing the darker aspects of war and conflict that their father Ares represented. One of the most famous stories involving Ares and Aphrodite is the tale of their capture by Hephaestus. Suspecting that Aphrodite was having an affair with Ares, Hephaestus decided to catch them in the act. He crafted a finely woven, nearly invisible net and set it as a trap over the bed where he suspected the two would meet. When Ares and Aphrodite came together and lay down in the bed, the net ensnared them, trapping them in a tight embrace. Hephaestus then summoned the other gods to bear witness to his wife's infidelity. The gods gathered around the ensnared couple and laughed at their predicament, making light of the situation. Despite the humor of the situation, Poseidon took pity on Ares and Aphrodite. He approached Hephaestus and urged him to release the two from the net. In the myth of Ares and Aphrodite's capture by Hephaestus, it is mentioned that Poseidon persuaded Hephaestus to release the trapped lovers by promising that Ares would pay compensation for the offense. The exact nature of the compensation is not explicitly detailed in the myth, but it was likely a symbolic gesture in the form of a valuable gift, a favor, or some other form of restitution to appease Hephaestus. Greek myths often emphasize the importance of proper restitution and balance in interpersonal relationships. The compensation offered by Ares would have served to restore balance and harmony among the gods. However, the specific details of the compensation are not well documented in the existing myths, leaving its nature open to interpretation. Hephaestus, perhaps influenced by Poseidon's intervention and the prospect of receiving compensation, agreed to release Ares and Aphrodite from the net. Once freed, the embarrassed lovers fled to their respective domains, and Aphrodite returned to her husband Hephaestus. This incident led to animosity between Ares and Hephaestus. Ares and Athena. Ares and Athena are both Greek gods associated with war, but they represent different aspects of it. Ares is the son of Zeus and Hera, and he is the Greek god of war, embodying the physical, violent, and untamed aspects of warfare. He is often depicted as a fierce and aggressive warrior, reveling in the chaos and bloodshed of battle. Ares is associated with courage, fearlessness, and physical strength, but he is also known for being impulsive, cruel, and destructive. His Roman counterpart is Mars, who shares many of the same attributes but also has a stronger association with agriculture and fatherhood. Athena, on the other hand, is the daughter of Zeus and Metis, born from Zeus's forehead fully grown and clad in armor. She is the goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, law and justice, strategic warfare, mathematics, strength, strategy, and the arts. Athena represents the more intellectual and strategic aspects of warfare, making her the goddess of wise counsel and heroism in battle. Unlike Ares, Athena is more disciplined, rational, and just. She is often depicted with an owl, symbolizing wisdom, and a shield, representing her role as a protector. Her Roman counterpart is Minerva, who shares most of the same attributes. In the Trojan War, which is a legendary conflict described in ancient Greek literature, Ares and Athena found themselves on opposing sides. The war was fought between the city of Troy and a coalition of Greek city-states led by King Agamemnon. The war is said to have been triggered by the abduction of Helen, the wife of Menelaus, by Paris, a Trojan prince. Ares supported the Trojans in the war. This is partly because Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, was on their side as well. Aphrodite had helped Paris win the love of Helen, and Ares and Aphrodite were lovers. Ares' involvement in the war was characterized by his fierce and destructive nature, which caused chaos on the battlefield. On the other hand, Athena favored the Greeks, as did many other gods and goddesses. Athena's support was based on her loyalty to the Greeks, her desire to punish the Trojans for Paris' actions, and her rivalry with Aphrodite. Athena's role in the war was more strategic, providing guidance and protection to Greek heroes like Odysseus and Achilles. She is often portrayed as helping the Greeks devise cunning plans and tactics to overcome their enemies. While both Ares and Athena are associated with war, their differences highlight the multifaceted nature of conflict in the ancient Greek worldview, with Ares representing the raw, brutal force, and Athena embodying the strategic and disciplined aspects. Ares and Heracles. One of the notable clashes between Ares and Heracles took place during the heroes' campaign against the city of Pylos. The city was ruled by King Neleus and his sons, who had offended Heracles by refusing to cleanse him of the blood guilt from killing his wife and children. This refusal further angered Heracles and led him to wage war against Pylos. In the ensuing battle, Ares supported his son Periphetes, who was fighting on the side of Pylos against Heracles. Ares fought directly against Heracles, but Heracles demonstrated his immense strength and prowess in battle by standing up to the god of war. With the help of his magical bow and arrows, Heracles managed to wound Ares, forcing him to retreat from the battlefield. One of the most well-known clashes between Ares and Heracles occurred during the heroes' Mount Labor, which was to retrieve the belt of Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons. Ares was a patron of the Amazons, a tribe of warrior women, and took their side when Heracles arrived to claim the belt. In some versions of the story, Ares is said to have confronted Heracles directly in battle, but Heracles emerged victorious, forcing Ares to retreat. In Greek mythology, Heracles confronted and killed Cycnus, a son of Ares. Cycnus was a violent and bloodthirsty warrior known for challenging and killing travelers passing by his territory. His actions caused suffering and chaos, drawing the attention of Heracles. Heracles, as part of his various adventures, came across Cycnus and engaged in battle with him. Due to Heracles' extraordinary strength and fighting skills, he was able to defeat and kill Cycnus. Although Ares did not directly fight Heracles in this case, his connection to his son Cycnus makes this encounter relevant to their conflicting interests. These confrontations showcase the complex relationships between the gods and goddesses in Greek mythology. As a god of war, Ares often found himself in conflict with other gods, reflecting the strife and chaos that he embodied. Ares, the Greek god of war, was involved in various conflicts and battles throughout Greek mythology. As a deity representing the chaos and violence of war, he often took part in mythological battles, supporting one side or another. In addition to the Trojan War and Battle of Pylos mentioned earlier, there are other wars and conflicts involving Ares. In the Gigantomachy, the gods of Olympus fought against the giants, who were attempting to overthrow them. Ares participated in this battle alongside the other gods to defend their supremacy over the cosmos. The Amazonomachi is a legendary battle between the Amazons, a tribe of warrior women, and the Greeks. Ares was often associated with the Amazons as their patron and divine ally, and he might have played a role in the Amazonomachi, supporting the warrior women in their battles against the Greeks. He was said to be the father of some of the Amazon queens, such as Hippolyta. War of the Seven against Thebes. In this war, 7 heroes, led by Polynices and Adrastus, fought against Thebes to reclaim the throne for Polynices, who had been exiled by his brother Eteocles. Although Ares' direct involvement in this war is not explicitly mentioned, as the god of war, he is often invoked in the context of the battle and might have participated in it. These are just a few examples of the wars and battles Ares was involved in throughout Greek mythology. As the god of war, he played an essential role in various conflicts, representing the violence and chaos inherent in warfare.